be an orange. No, they should wear all purple. Should wear like purple and white or something. Stop showing clips of already mixed clips.
tougher. You see that I played Southern Cal, LSU, Washington, Nebraska, and Colorado when they were good on the road. I used to tell them that, look, it gets no tougher in the Big Ten road schedule. That's why I like to play those kind of teams. I didn't beat many of them, but I love to play them. And it helped me when I went to Columbus or Ann Arbor or Iowa City. I really believe that.
Now, that's what you did. But what if you were a head coach
Right now,
12 home games, and you had 4 non-conference games. Now, today, how would you do it with job security and bowl games?
I wouldn't play cupcakes. I played cream puffs. I played no more than I could beat, and then went into the athletic director and say, I'm undefeated. I'm upset. I'm upset. Okay.
What would you do today? You play.
Well, I got fired doing this.
Obviously, I like to see, as a player, as a fan, coach, we want to see the big games. I think players actually select schools for an opportunity to play in this kind of atmosphere, in these games. And, the SEC, you play a big game every single week in conference play. But to me, you look around the country, there's nothing more exciting in September than seeing those intersectional matchups that get fans excited. The thing is, when fans have an agenda, players have an agenda, and they don't matter. Head coaches, athletic directors have an agenda. That's when it ultimately ends up winning out.
You know what's going to be the saddest coach in the whole nation? Oh, these two guys out here. Nice talent, but...
Yeah, they got it well. These guys make a lot of money. These coaches seem to justify it. They make money. That's the justification for playing cupcakes, playing all those home games. But you realize Bama clubs make more money from coming here and playing each other than they would playing in their respective losses. Look at LSU just paying out $20 million. LSU has the softest non-conference schedule of any SEC team, and that's an embarrassment for the defending national champion. I know it's tough in the league. 8 home games. You show me a team with 8 home games. I'll show you a team with an awful non-conference schedule with a score out there. Miller and Davis will take on that time defense. We'll visit with